Welcome to For the Common Good with Juanita, a show where we inform, inspire, and empower our businesses, our communities, and people just like you. So whether you're starting a new business or expanding your existing business, or whether you just want to help communities thrive, or maybe just take care of yourself and your family, we've got something for you. And I am so excited about the show today. Today, we are talking about an amazing story. Educator turned Guinness World Record holder. Yes, you heard me. Guinness World Record holder. And today we're talking to our guest, Jason Pryor, who's CEO of Mr. Basketball Skills Training Incorporated, LLC. He's a former Florida Mr. Basketball, a high school national scoring leader, Division I scholarship athlete, and retired European professional basketball player. He's a husband, he's a father of 3 kids, 9, 7, and 3. Oh boy, you stay busy. He's a licensed educator, a Bible school teacher, and a business owner. So help me welcome to the show, Mr. Jason Pryor. Welcome to the show.
Wonderful.
I don't think I've ever sit down with a Guinness World Record holder. This is so exciting. Wow, what an accomplishment. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Wow. Now tell me about this. When you were a child, how did your childhood play into your becoming a basketball player, your interest in basketball?
Yeah, I attribute that to my parents. They were very influential in all of our upbringing, me, my 2 other brothers. And it started on the track. We ran track.
Oh.
As a 5-year-old, my father would run me against 9 and 10-year-olds. So of course they were faster, more mature. And I would always try to beat out the last player, or the last runner. And at one point, my dad was like, I know you're getting beat, and here's a medal for your effort. He would always get me a medal anyway.
Oh, wow.
And then one day he told me, he said, these guys are 3 and 4 years older than you.
Yeah.
And that's when it clicked. Because when I started running against my peers, I was way out ahead.
Ah.
So it created that fire.
Very good grooming there. Wow,
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting. Now, tell me about you. Did you play for the NBA, or did you always want to play for the NBA while you were a child and doing your basketball thing? Was that one of your goals?
Yes, that was my goal. That was the goal, to get there. Had some opportunities. I was invited to the Portsmouth Invitation when I was a college senior, and unfortunately had an ankle injury that did not allow me to get there. I was actually chosen, but the injury is, at that point you have such a small window to take advantage of those kind of NBA opportunities. So I did go there on crutches. I had an agent, and we tried, and they would ask, when can he work out, when is he available, multiple NBA teams. I just wasn't well enough at that time. And so I went overseas and played.
So you played for a European professional league?
Yes, multiple teams in multiple countries, and I would come home every summer and try for the NBA. And then get cut and just go right back up.
What a great experience.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. But a Guinness World Record holder, now that is something, I think, in the wildest dream of someone to think about achieving something like that. I mean, tell me about that.
Yeah, to be the best in the world at something is awesome. That's something that when I thought about it, I said, why not? Why not be one of the world's best shooters? And that really is to separate myself from any other trainer, any type of shooting trainer, to build the brand and to try to start building those accolades. Not many Mr. Basketballs out there, not many Division I scholarship athletes. So I want to continue to build that up, and that was one of the reasons I went after it. And to have that actually happen, it's actually, I didn't know I would get, when you're doing it, because it comes natural to you,
right.
You don't realize that this is something that not many people can say they've done, the Guinness World Record. So I think it's still settling in right now.
Wow, I'm still in awe that I'm sitting actually having an interview with a Guinness World Record holder. It's amazing. So from the time you actually decided you wanted to do this until the time you actually did it, there was, I mean, every single day or week or how much practice did it take? A lot, I'm sure.
Yeah, multiple. I did some Saturday mornings. So I would get up at like 5 a.m. Me and my rebounder, and we'd go into the local YMCA in Yorktown, and we just start taking shots. And I get my camera. My parents actually helped me invest in a really nice camera, GoPro. It's a really nice camera, and we set it up, and I would just shoot, and I got hot one day, and just kept going. And the humbling thing was I thought you could miss one or two shots and still get that record, and you cannot miss any shots. You have to go consecutive.
All right, I'm done. We are going to go to break, and when we come back, we're going to hear more from Jason Pryor and his world record, Guinness World Record holder. Oh my gosh, this is absolutely amazing. We'll be right back. Don't you go anywhere. Welcome back to For the Common Good with Juanita. And today we're talking to Jason Pryor, who is the Guinness World Record holder in three-pointers, right? Where you're getting your own ball.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I wanted to ask you, Jason, how important has your family been? I mean, growing up, the support that you received for just your basketball, how important was that to you? Is that part of what helped shape you?
Yes, and I didn't realize that until I became an adult, and I always wondered why I was so confident. And people think that comes from within, when it doesn't. It comes from those around you, those that support
your circle,
you.
Yeah.
So like, hey, if you have a little bit of a challenge here or a failure there, they're there to lift you up, maybe point you in another direction, or tell you what you did, what you need to improve upon. We call them glows and grows. It's winning and learning, not losing. So all of those things I had growing up, and the family unit, the love cultivated in the home, even the competition to my brothers and I, was always healthy. And that helped a lot.
Wow, that's amazing. But you have your own family now. Now, what is that like? Going through this process, I can imagine your kids are they're just in awe. They're so proud of you, I know.
They are. Especially my son, he has a game right now. He's playing in a rec league. He's 9 years old, about to be 10, doing very well.
Wow.
And the support of your spouse, that is huge.
Yeah.
Someone to buy in and not try to tear you down, but to say, hey, go get it. And, she supports my ambitions. And I think that's huge. I think that's why I chose her to begin with. Because you got to have someone who kind of sees where you're trying to go.
Yeah.
This is not something I am just wasting time with. There's an end goal that I'm trying to get to in terms of financial success and opportunities for my family and the next generation. So it's much bigger than just me and this record. I'm trying to
You're creating that legacy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to do. Create the legacy so I can hand it down and do things that a lot of people in my extended family didn't example or they haven't done. My father was one that did it, so I want to continue to do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Well, I know that spirituality is very important to you. I want to talk about that because your faith probably plays a large part in what you do. You're a Bible school teacher.
Oh, man.
Oh, tell me about that.
That's my favorite part, I tell you, because it gives you perspective.
Yeah.
So this is not something I am idolizing, which means if I lost my legs or my arm, it wouldn't be the end of the world for me, because the goal really is to get to heaven. That's where I'm trying to get to. So if there are things I can do along the way, certain talents I can maximize, then I'll do that. But it keeps me humble, and it keeps me on the right path as I'm going along this journey, because you get a lot of people pulling at you, people with motives and things like that. And it gives you that discernment to know, hey, I can respect you and still work with you, but then I have that discernment that helps me keep myself and family safe.
Wow, wow. So you do you work with young people in church, or what age group basically?
All ages.
All ages.
All ages,
Really? From
absolutely.
youth to adults?
Adults, because when you think about the standard of the word,
Right.
we're all children of God. So if a person reads, we'll start to really realize that we're all little children and we make bad mistakes sometimes. And so it's always good to be able to encourage, and it humbles myself. It's a mirror for all ages when we open that book. So I'm open to anybody who wants to grow together and get better.
Wow. Well, you're a motivator too.
Yes, ma'am.
Very inspirational. Wow. This is so amazing. What feedback have you received since you've gotten your record?
Yeah, people ask, how hard was it to do?
Yeah, I'm sure.
What's the next one you want to try to accomplish?
They're already trying to get you to get a next one. You just got this one.
Some of my colleagues.
You got to bask in this success for a minute here.
My dad pointed that out. He's like, son, you don't have to keep chasing records to be successful or feel good. That's huge, that, don't get caught up in that. So that was some good advice, because sometimes people will keep you running on the hamster wheel, like you got to do more. That's a good thing, to accomplish that. Some of my coworkers and colleagues at the middle school that I teach at, they're smiling and they're very supportive, and they've been very thankful just to, be able to share that with the kids as a motivator. Like your gym teacher over there has done something. You guys should go talk to them about it. So I think that's been awesome.
Right. It helps kids to really know how to dream,
Yes.
that it's possible,
Yes.
that success is possible. Because I think most people, getting in the MBA is so difficult. Even that is difficult in itself.
Yes.
But then you put this on top of it, a Guinness World Record holder, it's amazing.
Yes.
It just means that you can do anything you set your mind to do.
That's huge, yes.
And so here we are. This is so amazing. We're going to take another short break, and when we come back, we're going to hear more from Jason Pryor, Guinness World Record holder. We'll be right back. Welcome back to For the Common Good with Juanita, and I am here talking to Jason Pryor, the Guinness World Record holder for three-pointers, where he's retrieving his own ball. This has really been so exciting. So, Jason, I want to ask you, you're considered, I guess, to be the world's best shooter. How does it, has it really kind of sunk in yet? How does that feel?
You know what, with respect to, you got your Steph Currys and some other great shooters out there, but I will say, yeah, I can say that I'm one of the world's best shooters, and
hey, you need to own it.
I mean,
yeah, you do. You got to own that one.
I need that.
Okay.
I own that thing, and it's starting to sink in now because I've been a scorer, which is someone who scores the ball in multiple ways.
Okay.
And my high school coach used to tell me, why didn't I shoot more threes? And the reason why is because I would get to the basket, I would shoot in the mid-range. And so I didn't really shoot a lot of three-pointers because I just wanted to score in different ways. And we had shooters on my team, but I wanted to be more multifaceted. And it didn't really hit me until I started playing in Europe, and this is pretty significant. I went one season shooting 51% from the three-point line.
Ooh, that was it.
Which
that
is
was
a great shooter shoots 40%. And so I said, maybe I can do something with this. And looking back, I was like, wow, I have been a pretty decent three-point shooter, even though I didn't take a lot of them. But it's sinking in because now I want to try to do something with it. So, yeah.
So tell us about that.
Okay.
You got to use this. I mean, this is a dream, and obviously it was meant to be.
Yes.
I always feel whatever is meant to be is going to be,
Yes.
and this was meant to be. So what are you going to do with it?
Okay, so the game of basketball has changed a ton because now there's a premium on shooting. Stephen Curry is one of those guys he's the three-point king. He leads the NBA in shooting, and a lot of people say he's ruined the game, but that's not true. It's just people don't want to put in the work to do what he's done. And so because of that, you have a lot of Players, I would say their Achilles heel is shooting. So you have a lot of people who can dribble well, very athletic, but when they have to put that ball up from range, they struggle. Their mechanics are off, and even the best players in the world, when they get older or later in their career, after you lose your athleticism, you start losing some of those attributes, your quickness. The last thing to go is your shot. So some players who learn to shoot can last longer. A player who's not athletic can make a team as a shooter. So now shooting is something that...
A lot of emphasis on shooting.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, when you're 6 and 7, what are you doing? You try to shoot it. So that's really what it comes back to. So with that, I want to try to be the shooting king. And so what better than to be able to demonstrate as well as teach? And I think that's what separates me from any other trainer is I can get out there, pro level, doesn't matter. And if I can knock down more than you, then you got to listen, no matter how much money you make.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you have a business now. So is this some of what you're doing with your business, working with other potential players who are interested in pursuing their career in basketball?
Yes. And so I want to expand that. My ultimate goal is to get a sponsorship from a big sporting brand, specifically Under Armour, because I've got a really good idea for them. Whoever comes first, I'm there, because I have a way to grow their market with some unique ideas that I don't want to give away right now. But we're starting with 3-year-olds, and I've been working with some of the major high school players in the area, and the pros have yet to call, even though I know I can help them. And I think one way to get to them is to know that if I can get taken seriously by one of these sporting brands, that it might give me some validation. The world record is enough, but I would really like to get one of those sporting brands to sponsor me if possible.
Wow. Well, you heard it first here on For the Common Good with Juanita. Oh, excellent, excellent, excellent. So you will work with kids, starting at 3 years old?
That's right.
Really?
Yeah.
At basketball?
Yes. I'm actually the instructional lead. I was asked to come down there at the Victory YMCA in Yorktown.
Right.
And I've got a clinic later today for 9 and 10-year-olds. But usually they start at like 6 to 8 years old. But they wanted to drop it down to 3, and I said, why not, So they start with the basics, trying to dribble, push the ball along, coordination really at that age. But why not? Why not? I'm willing to teach whoever wants to learn.
So how do, especially a kid that young, you probably have to work with their parents too, to some degree,
Yes.
The mind. It's like, listen now, I've got this.
Exactly. Yeah. So you got those parents who will warn you up front, okay, and it's helped me because
they're trying to help you, right? But they're not really helping you.
Yes. So there's times where, you just got to let them have their tantrum, or if they get a little bit shy, you just got to kind of walk away, let them do their thing. So there's a lot more patience at that age. But most of the kids like dribbling the ball. They like being around it. And so that's kind of what we do. It's nothing complicated. It's just introducing the love, starting at that age.
Mm-hmm. So someone who might be interested in, parents who might be interested in their children, they need to contact you, and then you sort of work with them and figure out do an assessment to figure out exactly what they need to do, or how you would work with them?
Yes. And so I can be reached. I have the social media, all the main social medias, Instagram, I think it's the Marksman JP, and then I've got a Facebook page that's Mr. Basketball Skills Training.
Mr. Basketball Skills Training, Facebook. Yeah. Look him up.
Yes, that's it. And then my email is priorjason7@gmail.com. That's a good way to reach me too.
Great. Anything else you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, I would like the world to know that I want to be your shooting coach, whether it's an NBA team, your high school individual looking to grow, or a 3-year-old who's just trying to get started. I want to be known. I would like to be referenced, and I'll continue to work until I get there. So that's all. Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Jason, for being on the show, and the best of luck to you.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Great.
Sure.
And thank you for tuning in to For the Common Good with Juanita.